Anthony, man, I appreciate you coming by, man, for the JS report today. I know you got a busy summer and everything, but appreciate you making a little time for us. You ready to go in?
Yeah. Talk. You got me between our gutters.
Tall people. Okay, so that's a little history right there for you. So,
You still got this big back TV?
y'all call them big back TVs?
You need to clean the top of it.
Once again, the advantage of being tall. Anthony, I'm glad you're hanging out with me before you do your interview and everything. But if you got some time, you can check out some of the archives and stuff, some of the history of Millington and stuff like that.
Okay. What's this?
What are you? Tallness. Oh wow! This is a very important book, not only about the history of Memphis, but Memphis basketball. Very important.
All right, my JS episode, I got 3 local tie-ins this week, but first of all, I'm going to start out with a local tie-in that played at Arlington High School and Germantown High School. Anthony Medlock, congratulations on your journey so far. We'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. Let's talk about Take One, your Arlington High School playing days under Coach Maurice Mo Miller. Let's talk about your playing days at Arlington for me. Take One.
Arlington, it was fun, I'll say. As a freshman, I was coming in, I was playing behind some of the coldest people in the city. So it was like a big adjustment from being my star player on the middle school to coming off the bench at Arlington. And I want to say, like, we had a lot of hype, but considering that it was Coach Mo's first year there. So when we was there, it was like everybody had so much buzz around us, so we had to perform.
Give me some memories that you'll always cherish as Arlington Tiger.
My freshman year, we had Arlington Night. And that's when we had a rapper, Action Pack, had came in there, and it was my first time seeing him. And it was pretty fun. I mean, we had a lot of people from the city come out and support, and that was like one of the funnest moments, like I said, that we had at Arlington.
I know y'all played in like the Penny Hardaway Hoop Fest at one time.
Yeah,
Y'all traveled a little bit too, and
one of our first games was at Whitehaven, and Whitehaven was cold my freshman year. They were so cold my freshman year. And it was just so much hype around that game because everybody wanted to see us play against them. And I remember when I first got in the game, I was just shaking. Like, I was so nervous because it was so packed out. But it ended up being fun, and it was a great experience for me.
give me some favorite games other than the Whitehaven game, that you always cherish.
When we played Bartlett,
When we played
Bartlett, at Bartlett was one of the funniest games ever because I remember, I think it was my 10th grade year, they had beat us 3 years in a row. I mean, they beat us 3 games in a row. And then that one game, it was the winner to go to semifinals in state. We ended up beating them and we eliminated them. So that was one of my best games too. That was a fun game.
As a Bartlett. You just had to bring it up, not a kid.
I had to.
So favorite road trip as an Arlington Tiger?
Favorite road trip, probably when we went to Arkansas. I remember we went to Arkansas and we had played against some of the top teams down there. And we had stayed in like this Airbnb house. And I remember we were playing hide and go seek in the dark and everything. And then Coach Mo had called us. We were supposed to have bedtime. And
curfew.
We were supposed to have curfew. And we was up late night, man. He came in there, he ran the mess out of us in the parking lot. That was one of the best out of town experiences.
What kind of motivation did Coach Mo Miller give you the last couple of years? I know y'all we're going to talk about your new school, Germantown.
He gave us a lot of motivation because during AAU, he was our AAU coach my 8th grade year. So that's why we all followed him to Arlington because we had so much trust in him. And so I remember, like at practice, he'll show us so much films and so much games just to let us know about the next level. And considering he played at the next level, he had, paid us. He tried to pave us the way and try to tell us things and the steps that we needed to get there and the work effort that we needed to get to the next level.
Absolutely, you made it on point that he played at the next level to get y'all ready like you for the next level. All right, now let's take one with the Arlington freshman and sophomore year, Mr. Medlock. All right, take 2, Mr. Anthony. Let's talk about your Germantown High School junior and senior year. What kind of adjustment from Arlington to Germantown was it?
School-wise, it was a huge adjustment from Arlington to Germantown.
Same enrollment size, right?
I wouldn't say that. I remember coming when I was at Arlington. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I kind of just stayed to myself. Everybody had already grew up together in Arlington. Like they came from elementary, middle school together. So we was kind of like outcasters. And then when I got to Germantown, it was the same people that I went to middle school with. So it was just like a whole different ball game. Like everybody knew me there, and it was just fun. And the coaching adjustment was different too, considering that I had somebody that was on the high major D1 level, and I had somebody that still played college basketball too, but he didn't really know me like I knew Coach Mo. So I remember when I first got there, I had came to Germantown and I was trying to make the team. Well, my mother had asked him could I play basketball, and Coach Sabo wanted to act like he didn't know me at all, so he was like, I gotta see how he plays if he wants to be on my team. It was like one of those. So my mom was like, well, what? But turns out he already knew me. He just wanted to play like he didn't know me. But it was fun. It was cool, I say.
So just talk about how Coach Sabo kind of helped you out for the next level.
He was a quiet coach, but he still got his point across. Like we used to make fun of him. We used to say he'll yell at us in a whisper voice, and so but he made sure that we watched film. He did get frustrated with us a lot of times because considering that like that was he was a new coach to us, so we kind of like I wouldn't say we kind of ran over him, but we kind of like dismissed some of the stuff that he said. But now that I think about it, we really shouldn't have because the stuff that he said was like very important. It was true to the game.
So then your senior year, you also had a new coach.
I had Coach Spears. Coach Spears was a good coach to me. I mean, I feel like he was very hard on us, but like he got us ready for the next level. And I remember when he came in there, because I say my 11th grade year, we weren't that very conditioned. Like we was very tired when it came to like late game situations. So Coach Spears, he was already a teacher at Germantown, so he came to all of our games. So one of the main things he wanted to like push to us was endurance and stuff. So I remember he came to us during the summer. He ran the mess out of us on the track and the bleachers in the gym. It was just nonstop, and everybody felt like quitting. But then I remember when we started playing in the games, we all was like, y'all tired, and wasn't nobody tired. So we saw that it was working, so we wanted to keep doing it.
Now your junior year, y'all had a good year, but your senior year was kind of like an up and down year where everybody in that district was beating everybody.
Yes.
But what kind of games can you reflect back on for your senior year and your junior year?
One of my junior year games when we played Bartlett at Germantown, they beat us for sure. I feel like we would have won that game if I didn't cramp up. I had 38.
Excuses.
We should have lost. We was down by 2 points when I had cramped up, and then I came out the game and I looked at the score. We were down by 14 before I could even get back in the game. So, but I feel like that was a good game. This year game when we played Briarcrest at Briarcrest, they were undefeated at the time. Nobody had beat them in Memphis, and it was just a big game for us because we felt like that was when we was at our peak. We felt like that we could really beat them, and I remember everybody was telling us like, y'all have no chance, y'all have no shot. And I remember when we came out there in the game, we was just fighting them and fighting them. They just wouldn't give up. And we were just fighting them every quarter, back to back to back. And then when that fourth quarter hit, they kind of laid down a little bit, and we ended up getting the edge, and we beat them. So that was pretty good for us.
Okay, you saw these players during your AU season as well, but you talk about the competition, like this year in general for the talent compared to the last couple of years as well. How do you think the Memphis talent, did pretty? I mean, Overton won the state title, of course, but how did you see the talent this year compared to years past?
I feel like this year everybody had a lot of confidence, like with everybody beating everybody. Like my freshman and sophomore year, you had Houston, the big super team. Everybody knew Houston was going to win the state. They had everybody. So, but last year and this year, I feel like everybody was just balanced. Like you didn't know who was going to win. Like you had an idea, but it was no chance because everybody was just beating everybody. And like you said, like this year, I remember like towards Christmas and towards the into January, man, Houston was beating us, then we beat Houston. Overton beat us, then we beat Overton. It was just back to back. Everybody was just beating everybody. So you had no
beating everybody.
Southland was beating everybody. Southland ended up beating Houston. Like you would never think that. So it was just everybody was just in shock and just didn't know what was gonna happen.
Okay, and then you talked about the coaching adjustment. Who do you have a favorite player that you played against all 4 years? Jay Nash, Cooper Hayes, or any Bartlett players, or anybody like that, or?
They're up there. I say one of the funnest people I played against was KJ. Just because all the shots that he shoot and the stuff that he make is just unbelievable. Because I remember last year he had 50 points on us, and he scored 37 in one quarter.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy. Like the stuff that he shoots was just.
Are you calling him the next Tyler Harris?
I'm calling him next Tyler Harris. The stuff he shoots, yes, next Tyler Harris.
All right, that's my take two. All right, Anthony, take three. We're going to talk about your AU playing days. Let's talk about your AU summer circuit. Like, who did you play for and what kind of fun did you have playing with AU?
I played with Team Thad, and I remember going into our freshman year, we were Under Armour. And I remember, man, we was beating up on Under Armour. But it was fun, but it wasn't like, I feel like we all, as a program, thought that we were better than Under Armour. You know, we wanted to be URBL. So when we finally got that Nike's contract, man, it was like so different competition-wise, because like Under Armour, it was competitive, but it was like, it wasn't how Nike was. Like Nike is just huge. So all the tournaments we had and the different games that we had and the sessions was just unbelievable. And how many college coaches that we had there was just crazy.
Y'all get to go to Peach Jam, right?
Right.
So just talk about that Peach Jam environment, because it kind of reminds me of where people get there early, like 2 hours before the doors open,
Yes.
and then the lines open, you know, like an hour before the gates. I can call it the gates or the doors, but they usually open up the doors like an hour before the first game.
Right.
But people were lined up like 2 hours before the actually first game in general, and they stayed there pretty much all day long on both days, or all week pretty much.
Right.
But what kind of hostile environment was that place?
Man, when we played at Peach Jam, it was like totally crazy. Even different from the sessions, because you had so many college coaches there and people from Augusta, Georgia that probably didn't even care about basketball, just wanted to come in there just to hear about the big names. And I remember we had played Bronny at Peach Jam, and my own dad couldn't even get in the gym because it was just too many people. They had to like close everything off.
Fire code.
And it was crazy. I remember because Bron was sitting on the bench courtside trying to coach them, and you had all the fans just talking mess, trying to get in our heads, so they want to see how Bronny gonna perform. It was crazy. It was a totally different environment, and all the college coaches lined up against the wall. Everybody with their notepad, and the recruiting was just crazy. You had like 10 points and end up with 5 coaches texting your phone just because the competition level was so high. So that was pretty fun. That was a good experience for me.
Talk about Coach Hurd, kind of mentor he was for you.
He was a great mentor. I say that for sure. He was a great mentor. He really gave us different life lessons, not even just in basketball, but just different life scenarios and different lessons. And he even told us, like, if basketball didn't work out, the connection that we built with him and with the whole program can help us win anywhere that we went. And he was a hard-nosed coach. Like, he'll yell at you, he'll get in your face and hold your jersey, but you know it's coming out of a space of love, because he'll, like, if you'll go out there and perform one game and then you mess up the next game, he'll be like, well, I just seen you do this, so why can't you do it every game?
Right.
Like, he'll just get on you about that. So that'll make you, like, really think about yourself and, like, contemplate on yourself and how you perform, and it'll make you perform better and be a better player.
Well, anyways, I know all coaches that you have played under are proud of you on and off the court, and they enjoyed, you know, their motivation for you as well throughout your years. Make sure you stay in contact with your coaches, because they're always there for you no matter what. And just keep it, good job on and off the court, and just keep on. If you need anything at all, you know they're there for you, and they always care about the kids. But that's why I take 3 with Mr. Anthony. All right, take 4 this week. We're talking about the future. Breaking news on the JS report. Talk about your commitment to
Ranger College.
where's that school at?
It's in Texas.
We're in Texas.
I was like an hour out from Fort Worth. It's in Ranger, Texas.
So why that school?
I feel like it'll fit me personally. Plus, Coach Zach, the head coach, he was one of the first coaches to offer me, what people really just didn't know. But he was one of the first coaches to offer me. He's been recruiting me since last year, like heavy. He was assistant coach last year at Ranger, and now he ended up getting a head coaching job because the head coach went to a D1 school. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like no distractions at all for me, and I feel like that would be great for me just to focus on basketball and just to worry about getting to the next level. And plus, with them,
right?
with them being a D1 JUCO, they sent 8 people Division I last year and then 2 people D2. So I just feel like in order for me to get to my next step, due to the COVID and all the transfer portal and all that stuff, I feel like that would be a great fit for me.
Have you tried any brisket barbecue yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm not gonna lie, Texas brisket is pretty good. So next thing, like I told you, I already gave you some restaurant recommendations. Make sure you give us a review on the West 10 video, you know. And just talk about, like you said, that's getting ready from distractions.
Right.
I love how you said that, because to me personally, it's good to get away from home. I know you might get homesick at time, but you're only like a 6 to 7 hour drive and an hour and a half flight from home. So just remember that, first of all. But just talk about, like, what kind of mindset can you have going into your first year coming up? Classes start soon. So what kind of mindset can you balance your schoolwork with your basketball?
You know, school comes first, because you can have like 30 points killing in D1 JUCO, but a D1 coach is not going to come down here. I mean, well, you know, the assistant or somebody, he can't recruit you to the head coach if you have a 1.2 GPA. So that's going to start first for me. I got to get focused in the classroom. That's why I feel like it'll be great because there's nothing to do there but basketball and schoolwork. And another thing, like just the playing part, it's going to be a dogfight. Like my mindset just got to be kill, 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 kill. Like when my time comes, I just got to make sure that I just perform at every level that I have to and do whatever my coaches tell me to get to that next level.
Any more details why you chose that school?
So first I was committed to Free Harbor. I wanted to go there. I felt like that was a good fit for me too. But as I like got to see, you know, I didn't feel like that was my highest potential level. Like I didn't feel like I was just NIA, and I was gonna be stuck there. Like I feel like I could go higher. So when I was seeing all these people going JUCO, you know, I was just seeing like people go D1 JUCO and they were coming right out of there. Like they were averaging 10 points, they'll come right out of there and go to D1. It'll be a good fit for them. Because I just feel like that was my type of guys that I wanted to compete with, that I could compete with and could be on their level with them as well. So when I was talking to Coach Zach, one of my main things was just, do you think I can compete on a D1 level? And when he told me yes, that made me feel like he believed in me. He was showing me he was breaking down my game film. Like he was watching my film more than I even watched my own film. Like he knew everything about me, my weaknesses, how I played and all that, and the ways that he could get me better. So he just made me feel very comfortable and very much like he cared about me. So I feel like that was a good fit.
Last question for your future. I know a lot of players in this area right now are going through what you're going through, but they haven't had that much luck or anything like that lately. But what can you tell any unsigned seniors are going out to college right now, maybe just going there for school for like a year, or any upcoming seniors that are looking for like a home? What kind of advice or encouragement can you give them at the next level?
I gotta say, don't pay attention to the social media stuff. You know, when you're seeing all these people getting all these offers and stuff, don't believe everything you see. I'm gonna say that. You just gotta be patient. You gotta focus on you and what you have going for yourself. You gotta just stay in the gym and just be patient because you can go anywhere. And if you're a good player and you feel like you can be on another level, you're gonna be seen. You're gonna get there to where you want to be at. So I just say, just be patient and just trust yourself and trust the people that surround you, the people that care for you the most. Listen to what they say, listen to their opinions, and just wait your turn.
All right, and Anthony, any Twitter, Instagram follows, or people can follow you at to keep up to your journey and just follow you in general?
My Instagram is the Anthony Medlock, and my Twitter is the Anthony Medlock as well.
All right, Anthony Medlock, appreciate your time as always. Keep up the good work, like I told you, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
So, Anthony, man, this book right here is very important. As you can see, it talks about Larry Finch, Robert Newman, the Moore and Owen teams, and the great Memphis Tiger teams from 1973. You know what? You about to head off to Texas and be the next great Memphis basketball story. Maybe you should sit and read this and learn more about where you came from.
Thank you.
And enjoy being tall.